Why am I not getting those traditional female things? Why doesn't he plan dates all of a sudden?
Men, stop taking these women on dates that have no intention of taking you seriously.
Men don't make plans. Men don't actually ask women out on dates.
And can literally never be out of your league like he's a man.
The dating world you once knew is no more.
Just got back from going on one date. It's just so nice, so kind. Like, I know if I dated him, he would never break my heart. And tell me why I'm just not into that.
You wanted a sign, here it is. Date them all, sis. He is not your man. Don't be fake.
Dating to them is just another game. Do not fall victim.
I don't understand how people just date. Like, they like each other, and then they date. And do what? Like, what do you guys talk about all day? I genuinely can't comprehend that people make out and then just like eat lunch together. What? That's so awkward. I don't understand. Like, what if you wake up one day and just think that they're ugly? Oh my god. I am not scared of death. I am scared of dating.
If you're wondering why men aren't asking you out on dates, that's because based on your own behavior, they're not comfortable enough to ask. Of course, there are other reasons, but that's one of them. Much love.
I recently was going on dates with a man, and nice guy, good guy, treated me well. But once I realized that he was not my husband, because I'm only looking for husband energy at the moment, I ended things with him. Anyways, I sent him a text, told him that I didn't see it going any further. He agreed. He said that he didn't think that he could make me happy. And while I appreciate that, it was a very kind response, he didn't even try. He didn't even try and say that he like wanted to change, that he wanted to like whatever. Like, I can be manipulated. I will listen to you. But you didn't even try.
Are you crazy?
She can be manipulated, but she will be looking around for the next thing. Dude saw the red flags and was okay with her leaving. She wants to be chased and feel important enough to fight for entitlement. My ex did this to me. Pulled the "I'm not in love with you anymore" card. Got desperate when I just said, "Okay, bye." Notice how she wants him more after noticing he doesn't make an effort anymore. Immature girls, not real women. This woman obviously needs help. I don't know what husband energy is, but if she wants a husband material man, she needs to first work on herself to be wifey material. Because everything starts with you. Even after the whole date, her only concern was that he doesn't want to manipulate her. She honestly suffers from emotional maturity, but overall, I think that man dodged a bullet with this one.
You wanted a sign, here it is. Date them all, sis. He is not your man. Don't be faithful to a non-existent relationship. He's making you an option. He's outside. Date them all. It's time out for you to be faithful to situationships or guys that don't want to establish a real relationship. You got options. Match his energy. His homeboy look better anyway. Date them all. You do not have a man. Date them all. You got many men.
Shut up, bitch!
Just got back from going on one date. It's just so nice, so kind. Like, I know if I dated him, he would never break my heart. And tell me why I'm just not into that. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm not lying, guys, when I tell you that I know that if I decided to give this man my whole entire heart, I would never have to worry about anything. I have a date with this other guy. Completely different vibes. I get player vibes. I get you're pretty, but like, let me put you in your place vibes, which fuck you. But also, there's something wrong with me.
Stay away from toxic women. Don't go for women who haven't worked out the trauma from their past. Yeah, then when she's in her 30s or 40s, then her mind will be with, "I should have tried more with that guy," or the famous one, "Where are the good men?" When people say girls mature faster than boys, no, they just talk a lot, but they don't know what they need or want until their 30s. She knows very well what she wants. She even knows there is something wrong with her. This is what you call a damaged woman. This is someone who's used to having toxic relationships. The good guy will never be enough for her because it's not something she's used to. She's used to crying over guys that's making her life miserable. She is honestly broken. I think it's a good thing that she didn't continue dating that good man. She would have made his life miserable as well. She should honestly seek help. To say you know someone is good for you and will treat you right, but is not your thing, is a different kind of illness. Seek help.
People don't even date anymore. It's like they meet up for a bit, for a few weeks, for a month or so, and then they're like, okay, bye, see you later. It was nice to meet you, nice to know you. Ciao. It's no wonder we're all freaking traumatized.
We are literally 2 weeks into 2024. I had to think then for a moment what year we're in. But I'm actually giving up with dating already. Like, this is why I look tired and exhausted, because it takes it all out of me. I think I'm totally going to be single for the rest of my life, because I just do not actually have the physical energy and mental capacity left in me any longer for these dead chats. Because tell me why. I was talking to somebody on Instagram, talking, for a little bit, and he asked me if I had Snapchat, to which I was like, yeah, but I don't really use it. I only still have the bloody app on my phone because of the pictures in the memories feature, I think that's called. And I was like, no, I don't really use it anymore. And he was like, I want to see your pretty face. I'm not being funny. You're literally talking to me on Instagram where you can go onto my profile and see my pictures. Like, what? Anyway, moral of the story, I am done. Yeah, done for the year.
One of the reasons why I believe dating is dead is because everyone is so broken. People have been taking advantage of multiple times, and they don't want to go through it again. Everyone is just okay with being alone today, especially men. They've said multiple times that dating isn't worth it. I believe we can all agree, due to the standards we are required to meet to date these women, it's just insane.
This is why dating in our generation is just so complicated. So in the talking stage, you're supposed to be interested, but not too interested. You're supposed to be flirty, but don't overdo it. And you're supposed to hang out, but not too much. It's just this massive gray area. You can't be too much of anything. But also, let me ask you something. How does it ever go anywhere? You have to assume that it won't, but that's also setting yourself up for failure. But then again, you're also not supposed to want it to go anywhere, because then you were doing too much. It's just a mess.
Why is dating so hard?
It's hard because we have access to the internet, and internet lets us be sluts. We can see anyone we want, whenever we want, and talk to everyone whenever we want.
So from a woman's perspective, what makes a woman a slut?
Nothing.
Women are never sluts. It's guys.
You know what?
Fuck you, Wyatt. No. You know why we're sluts? We're sluts because of men.
You know what makes a woman a slut? A man's perspective. Every man has a different perspective as to what a slut woman is, and that brings a lot of problems.
So what's your perspective? I want to know from a woman's perspective, right? What makes a woman a slut? You said that men have their own different perspectives. What do women think a slut is?
So there's just been this study where women, when they have sex, they like take in the male gaze. So we know what you like and we'll do what you like, and that turns us on. So it's literally just the male gaze and the male's perspective is what makes us feel like we're attractive.
You still didn't answer the question.
What's the question?
I think it's just like, if a woman cheats on a man and he thinks that's wrong, then it's wrong and she's a slut in his eyes.
But if a man does it, he was just being a man.
Well, it depends.
True. He's just being a boy and all these girls want him.
That girl in the middle honestly needs to get new friends. Dating for women and men aren't the same. I will agree that the internet plays a major role in dating, especially for women, because they have so many options. Whenever things don't work out, they just get another guy. What these women don't understand is that you may be able to get another guy, but can you get him to stay with you and marry you? Dating for men is horrible. He's got to be a valuable man to be able to get the woman that he wants. And by the way, those girls never answered the question.
Do you ever date a woman that's a nurse?
Nurses are known to be the biggest cheaters. They're sleeping with other nurses, men nurses, they're sleeping with the doctors. They love them some doctors. If your girl is a nurse and she has a hot doctor that she works with, chances are them late hours, they getting their freak on. He's hitting her on the side of the nursing bed while you waiting for her at home.
It's coming to the end of 2022, and I'm going to tell you, the biggest lesson I learned this year is that the good guy isn't always the right guy. And it sucks. In fact, it's up there, top 5 worst feelings. Us women, we have a terrible habit of doing this thing, where we meet a good guy, and because men as a whole are horrific, we're like, we have to, this is it. Like, we should just accept the good guy, because they're good, and they're kind, and they're sweet, and they're nice. And if we don't, we feel bad about it, because we're like, this guy is so kind, and he's so nice, and like, why do I want more? But I finally accepted this year that just because they're the good guy doesn't mean that they're the good guy for you. And this is something I really struggle with, because men as a whole are shit. In fact, I go as far as to say they're a disaster. So when there is a good guy in front of me, I'm like, wake up, be grateful. But I've accepted that you're allowed to want a good guy and some. Being a good guy isn't enough to make him your guy, and you shouldn't feel bad about that. Listen to me. Just because he's a good guy doesn't mean he's the right guy for you.
This woman just said, men as a whole are horrific. No wonder why relationships are harder for her. Going out to the dating world with that kind of mentality will get you nowhere. Apparently, even if you are a good guy, you are still not enough. And because you can't meet their unrealistic, delusional expectations, you are not enough. Work on yourself.
Women really don't care about a man's struggles. They wait for the winners. It's why we see women leave relationships 7 or 8 times out of 10. And it's not because he's a winner. It's not because he's chasing excellence and accomplishing great things in his life. It's usually because things aren't working out for him.
Guys, I just got back from a Hinge date. Why am I doing this to myself? So we scheduled to go to dinner. We are sitting at the restaurant. Seems very nice. Not a catfish. Things are going well. And the waitress comes over. She wants to take our order. And I said, okay, I'm going to take the branzino. And he said, I'm going to take the burger. And the waitress asked him, okay, how do you like your burger? He said how he likes his burger. And do you want some cheese on your burger? And he asked, is this going to be extra? And she says, yes, it's $3 extra. And he said, okay, then never mind. Over there, and I'm like, what the actual fuck? I'm like, okay, I'm hungry. I'm going to eat my branzino and see what happens. And he's like, oh my God, you have to pay extra for everything these days. And I'm like, yeah, it's New York City. So I got my branzino. He got his burger. We were eating. And once I was satisfied, I got up and I was like, I'm going to the restroom for a second. And I took my purse and I went to the waitress and I was like, hey, I just want to pay the bill. And I just paid the bill and walked out of the restaurant and I texted him. So I texted him, the check is taken care of. You should have gotten the cheese. And I blocked him.
This woman needs to delete Hinge and find a therapist. She got angry at the guy because he wanted to save money on something that was overpriced. These are the women who are doing the most stupidest things and then ask the internet, why am I single? What's wrong with him not wanting the cheese? But at least he dodged a bullet and got a free meal out of it.
Here's why dating is so much harder for a woman than a man. In heterosexual relationships, the older I get, the more that I realize that the difference between women and men when they date is tied to the fact that women don't feel like they deserve the partner they want. Because they haven't lost that elusive 5 pounds or climbed the corporate ladder high enough or done enough yoga to become so zen that they don't react to a chad's bad behavior and instead go do more yoga. Because bending ourselves into a meditative pretzel is somehow going to solve the fact that we're single and frustrated about being single. And as far as I can tell, heterosexual men rarely feel like I'm not good enough for the woman that I want and instead mean I want to go find a better woman than the one that I have when they tell you that I'm not ready for a relationship. And while I'll always advocate for self-improvement, it's also totally okay to love who you are even if you're not where you want to be, because the best version of yourself is not the only version of yourself that deserves a beautiful life. So if all you do today is watch this video and then go eat a tub of cookie dough and then try to make yourself feel better that at least it was vegan cookie dough, then realize that this version of yourself still deserves the man who loves and respects you, because the best version of yourself is the honest version. Cheers.
Whenever I hear a woman say dating is harder for women than it is for men, I automatically know they don't know what they're talking about. Most guys on dating apps are struggling to even get a date, unless they're at the top 1% of men every woman wants. It's really hard for that average man to get a date. Even an average woman gets more attention than an average man on those apps. That man must make something out of himself.
I talk about I got a reputation, Steve. I used to be a hoe. I ain't no hoe no more. I ain't been no hoe in a long time, Steve. A long time. I'm trying to change.
You were a hoe.
Back in the days.
How long haven't you been a hoe for?
For a little minute. For a little minute.
How long?
About a year.
A year. It's good.
Wow, that's real good.
You were promiscuous and now you're not.
Yeah. Whatever that means.
Men, stop taking these women on dates that have no intention of taking you seriously. And this is what I mean. A lot of women are going to hate me for what I'm about to say, but I'm just trying to tell y'all the real. A lot of women in the dating scene only go on dates just for the free food, to finesse free food.
I agree.
Yeah, men do love crazy bitches. They have always loved crazy bitches. They always will. I don't care what they tell you. I don't care what any man says. It is fucking facts. And if he has a different type of woman for his wife or for anything else, it's just because she was convenient and easy to settle down with. It was just the woman in front of him. Other than that, every man wants a crazy woman and wants to marry a crazy woman and wants to reproduce with a crazy woman if he has the opportunity.
The crazy girls are for pleasure, not for marriage. That's what these women get confused. He would not want to put a ring on your finger so he can deal with your craziness for the rest of his life. That's a no-go.
My 16-year-old is diving into the world of dating. She says to me the other day, why is it that the people who treat you the best are the ones that you're not interested in at all? Oh, fuck me hard in the ass. We are now diving into the journey of bad boys and bad decisions.
So he doesn't take you out on real dates and only invites you over to his house, and then afterwards you guys go to Panda Express after he smashes. He probably doesn't really like you, babe. And it's no hate, but if he really liked you, he's gonna invite you out on a real date, go see the Christmas tree lights, he's gonna take you ice skating, top golf, you're gonna meet his friends, he's gonna talk about you with his family. If you constantly have to guess whether that man likes you or not, he probably just doesn't, and that's okay. There's 7 billion people out here. You're gonna find somebody, don't worry about it.
Very best piece of advice I've ever gotten when it comes to dating is this. Find a man who wants to be a husband, not a man that wants a wife. There's a difference in the amount of capacity he will have for you, the amount of unconditional care he can give, his willingness to serve versus a neediness to be served, and in his ability to consider your experience instead of getting consumed by his own. I'm going to just start living by this because that is so great.
I agree with that message because everyone seems to get it confused. But that advice goes both ways. That man also needs to find a woman who wants to be a wife. Like I said before, you need to find someone who share the same life goals that you do. Most of these women today just want the wedding but not the marriage. Choose wisely, fellas.
If a man is not actively taking you on dates, it's a no. It's a no. Especially in the early stages. There should be no, come over to my place, let me come over to your place, let's watch a movie. They need to be actively taking you out, going to do activities, going to see stuff. And then if you want to have movie nights and stuff like that in between, yeah, but every time you hang out shouldn't be at one of your houses. And you need to set that boundary from the beginning, girl. Like, if they start insinuating, like, come over, come to my place, no. Cut that off so quick. Make it so clear, like, hey, I'm not looking for that. Like, we need to go on dates. And usually that'll weed off the guys who don't want anything serious pretty quick. If they are not actively trying to take you out, go out and do things, go out and have new experiences, it's a no. That's what dating is, bitch. It's not come over to my place, let's watch a stupid movie and hook up. Like, that's a hookup, not a date. Do not let them play you, bitch. Don't do it.
No wonder why these women are single. A man you are getting to know should not be actively taking you on a date. These women don't even know what the dating stage is for. They want you to treat them like you're their boyfriend already by spending all your money on them. They can keep screaming dating is hard or it's dead because they're the ones that killed it.